Want to light a gas fireplace? Need to light the pilot? Cozy on up and today we'll show you how. My name is Gabe with Mighty Fortress Academy. Let's jump right into the process of how to light a gas fireplace. This is a great task to do ahead of time so that you can familiarize yourself with all the components. This is not a great task to do the very first time you want to light a fire and everybody's sitting around the room watching you. Let's dig into this. First, we're going to remove the panel. Some panels remove entirely, a lot are hinged and fold down, just depends on your fireplace. The next thing you need to identify is your gas valve key, if your fireplace has one. I like to keep mine stored within the compartment so that it's always there. Some people like to put these on top of their mantles, but either way, put it in the same place all the time. The other thing that you're going to look for is, generally there's some type of instruction card or manual that's involved with the fireplace. It's a great idea to actually review this paired along with our video as part of your instructions for lighting the fireplace. Locate the switch. It should be in the off position. The switch is literally labeled off, pilot, and on, which yours should be off if you already watched our video on how to shut a fireplace down. If you didn't and you're backlogged on your viewing, click the link below. Turn that valve to off, and then we also need to turn the gas valves on. Some fireplaces have 2 gas valves, some have just 1. So the gas valve key sometimes turns several turns all the way counterclockwise to turn it on. Some just turn barely a quarter turn. Get that valve turned on. If there's a secondary valve, usually red handled, turn that on too. For the red gas valve, it should have been turned perpendicular to have it turned off. Now we want to turn it parallel so that the gas is on. Some fireplaces are a lot easier to locate where the pilot is just based on how the logs are set up. You can look from the top, maybe from the side, sometimes even from the bottom. The critical component is first to find where it's at. We've actually removed the logs from our fireplace to better show you. This particular model that we have is actually pretty difficult to see. Locate your lighter. It's generally a black push button. This one actually has a little red label on it. Push it a couple of times and watch inside the fireplace so that you can see a little spark. This is so that you can locate exactly where the pilot is going to be lighting. This is really critically important so that while you're doing this procedure, you can actually see the pilot light turn on. You'll turn your switch from off to pilot. Sometimes you have to kind of push in a little bit. Once you get it to that point and you've located where the pilot light is, you will push in on the switch and hold it in while you simultaneously click your lighter. Click your lighter every few seconds until the pilot light turns on. Once the pilot light turns on, keep your finger on that switch and hold it for approximately 30 seconds to a minute. Then you can release the switch. If the pilot light stays on, you're good to go to the next step. If it's not on or goes off, you're going to need to repeat this process. Try repeating the process in about 30-second increments with breaks in between. Now that your pilot is lit, we're going to turn our switch to on. Generally, the first time you do this, you want it to sit for about a minute before you try switching your basic light switch on. Now we can try our switch and see if the unit comes on. Once you're satisfied that the fireplace is working properly, you can put everything back together again. I actually turned ours off so that it wasn't quite as hot while I was messing with the cover. So take your key and put it in a location that you prefer. I always put mine in my compartment. Go ahead and put your cover back on. If you have young kids in the house who maybe like to mess with the switch and turn it on and off all of the time, which would not be good, they make aftermarket products that actually is a faceplate cover that goes over that switch. It's a child-proof cover, which would be a great option for you. Just check out your local big box stores for that.
I love sitting by the fire in the fall, but I also love proper safety. So remember, if at any point in this process you start to smell a significant gas smell, you need to immediately stop what you're doing, leave the house, and turn the gas off at the meter. Then call the natural gas company to come and take a look at what's going on. As a matter of fact, if you don't feel comfortable doing this project, there's no sense in trying to be a hero here. So from the beginning, if you don't feel comfortable, call the natural gas company. They'll come out, usually for free, to light your fireplace for you. Once you get that fire going, you can enjoy a nice hot cup of cocoa.